to the one I love the most. I've always heard people say that while love may be easy, expressing it in words is not. I can agree slightly. Writing this letter has simultaneously been the easiest and hardest thing I've ever done. You know I can be long-winded, so bear with me. Love at first sight sounds so cliche, but it is a real thing. From the first moment I saw you, I felt a spark. It was 2 weeks before our senior year was set to begin. Our town's little mall buzzed with kids and their families purchasing those last-minute back-to-school items. I was at my summer job at the Sombrero, and there you sat with your mom and little sister enjoying a hot dog on a stick. You so transfixed me that my manager yelled at me to get back to work. By the time I could pull away again, you were gone. I spent those next 2 weeks wishing and hoping for a way to find you. My wish came true on the first day of school. There you were, in the same homeroom no less. Keith Banks. Kelly and Keith has a nice ring to it, I remember thinking. I was devastatingly shy. It probably took about a month before I got the courage to speak to you. Courage really isn't the word. More like luck and fate gave me no choice in the matter. We were assigned to be reading partners in English Lit. And unless something major happened, the assigned partners were set in stone for the rest of the year. That was the first time I'd been close enough to smell your cologne, to genuinely drink in your essence. I was already drowning, but your charm and wit pulled me under even deeper. Our relationship began to sprout and blossom. By the end of the semester, I knew you were, without question, the one. It was a devastating blow when you said you weren't looking for anything serious. You wanted to focus on graduating and getting your basketball scholarship. Though I was hurt, I understood and wanted to support you. Luckily for me, most practices were open to family and friends. I never missed a practice or a game. I even traveled to every away game. It was so worth it to watch you doing something you loved. I remember the popular girls coming to the practices to gawk and giggle, especially Chelsea. She made it very clear that you were her target, and who could blame her? That was my first real taste of jealousy, and God, did it leave a bitter, bloody taste in my mouth. Then rumors about your relationship status with her began. I almost gave up on you, on us, but your glances at me during practice and a flash of that reassuring smile were all I needed to comfort me. Rumors were just that. We knew the truth. By the end of senior year, your hard work had paid off. A full-ride scholarship to a D1 ranked university. And while it wouldn't have been my first choice of school, I wasn't willing to lose what we had built. Despite your initial hesitation about dating, we continued to grow stronger and closer. However, those first 2 years were a whirlwind. There were lots of ups and downs, but I guess that's to be expected from two young people on their journeys into adulthood. And though it pained me greatly, I gave you as much space as I could handle. You even dated other people, and it tore me apart. But I remained by your side through it all. I knew that those harlots would eventually break your heart, and I would be there to show you what real love was. And I was right, even if I had to speed the process up with a few well-crafted plans. It killed me to see you so shattered, but I did not doubt that my love, true love, was all you needed. Over time, and thanks to my nurturing spirit, you bounced back better than ever. We even made it official. Then life got wildly busy that final year. School and the day-to-day rat race tried to force us apart, but we made it work. We made time out of no time. We found creative ways to maximize our schedules together. My favorite was always the late night study sessions, and though I must admit, my focus was more on you than my work. You would always fall asleep, book in hand or laptop still open on your lap. Your sleeping form was so angelic. Watching your chest slowly rise and fall for minutes at a time. Occasionally, I would sneak a sweet kiss on your lips, just a light little peck. I didn't want to disturb your rest, but those were the memories that I will cherish forever. The end of undergrad brought about a surprise that I didn't see coming. You proposed! My heart has never known such joy. I know women say it all the time, but I truly felt like I'd waited a lifetime for that day, which is why my heart breaks at all that has transpired since that monumental moment in time. I know it's breaking superstition to let the groom see the dress before the wedding day, but I was elated and couldn't contain myself. But when you saw me, you screamed. You were furious, yelling and cursing. What the fuck are you doing? How did you get in here? I knew it was supposedly bad luck, but I never expected such a dramatic reaction. Next thing I knew, the police had arrived and I was arrested for breaking and entering. I didn't understand because I'd been in your place so many times before. You always leave the spare key under the mat and I always place it back after I unlock the door. Why would you tell them that I broke in? I bonded out the next day and was told I wasn't allowed to contact you anymore. Of course I didn't listen. I had to know what was going on. You blocked every number I reached out to you with. Every time I tried to come by your house, there were police sitting out and watching. You even changed jobs and didn't tell me. It was weeks of pure torture. Then the court date arrived. I knew I would finally get to see you again, to be near you and share the same oxygen as you. Stalking and intimidating a witness had been added to my charges. I figured that whatever had made you so upset would have blown over by then, and you would tell them that this was all a colossal misunderstanding. But instead, you irrevocably shattered me in ways I did not know were possible. You stood before the court and told them a story of how I had been stalking you since high school. This fanciful tale of how I was obsessed with you so much that I followed you to college and continued my stalking and delusions. Those were your words. You even claimed that I threatened girlfriends and love interests of yours over the years. Then your hotshot lawyer babbled on and on about this massive heap of what he called evidence that included hundreds of my handwritten letters. I could not believe that you would turn in our private love letters as some sort of proof that I was crazy. You always said you found them endearing. What changed, Keith? My stupid public defender wanted me to plead guilty by insanity. What an insult to me and my character. I stood my ground. I pled not guilty, of course. A trial date is set, but it doesn't matter. You broke me. You broke me in a way I did not think was imaginable. What happened to us, Keith? When I came up with the plan to jump from your closet in my wedding dress, I pictured a flurry of tears and kisses and hugs. Instead, my world has been turned upside down. To say that you hurt me with the things you said in court would not be accurate. That word isn't strong enough. You eviscerated my entire being. You took something rare and pure and beautiful, and you made it dirty. I've spent so much time trying to understand what brought about this change. That was until I saw her. It took some doing, as I have an order of protection against me, but I found your new workplace. I saw how chummy you were with the long-haired brunette with the glasses. How could you throw away years for some cheap-looking office slut? At first, I thought maybe it's me. Maybe I'm overreacting. She's just, the workplace flirt. But then I saw you place one hand on the small of her back and use the other to lift her chin up towards yours. I threw up my lunch right in the bush where I was sitting and hiding. I had no doubt about my next move. I guess that leads us to the present day. I hope you enjoyed reading the story of us. I always imagined I would be reading this story on our wedding day. But it seems I have to settle for an alternate ending. I love you, Keith. I love you with everything I am and everything I will ever be. That's why I have to do this. My actions, they stem from love. We were going to have a beautiful wedding, a strong marriage, and a healthy family. A life that could only exist in fairy tales. As you read this, I want you to understand, whatever happens after this, you did it to yourself. You forced my hand. But don't worry, I'm not going to do something stereotypical and overdone like dismember you and scatter your body parts across the nation. No, I've made other arrangements for us. I made arrangements so that you and I will always be close. Because if I can't have you, no one can. Love, your Kelly. P.S. Sorry about the whole ear thing when I snatched you earlier. I decided to leave your little work play toy a parting gift. You always did have a thing for bimbos named Chelsea.